We need to have a social housing revolution, and that is why I've been so bold as to push for the biggest amount of increase in the affordable homes programme alongside the rent convergence, which the market will tell you they've really welcomed this because they've been asking for years for us to make these changes, and previous governments have not allowed that to happen. We're very clear that we've got a short-term deal with the pressures that families face, and that's around the cost of living as well. But in the long term, the only solution to the housing crisis in this country is to build more homes. And I sat on a platform, a manifesto to do that. And I think the last 12 months have proven that I mean what I say and I say what I mean. And we've brought forward many changes, including the Planning and Infrastructure Bill, which is going through Parliament now, the National Planning Policy Framework, the large amount of investment the government is putting into housing is showing that actually we mean business. But it's not going to turn around overnight. But we are alleviating short-term pressures at the same time as we've got to fix this crisis in the long term as well.
We are, and that's the long term, but with all due respect, Secretary of State, data is showing a massive decline in house building starts. The sector is saying they do not have the skills and the workforce. A number of builders are saying that they do not have confidence because some of the regulation, which they rightly welcome on building safety, is holding up those houses coming forward. When you've got data and a report from the IPPR in January this year showing that 90,000 families will be pushed into poverty because of the shortfall in the local housing allowance, is that not a political choice by the government to continue to freeze that and push those children into poverty?
Well, I think it's important to state that any further decisions, like I say, we've already put £34 billion a year into housing support, and we've increased that in April of 2024. But the decisions on local housing allowance will be made in the round at the budget alongside the other decisions that the government have already made, which is it has had an impact on families. We're rolling out in September more childcare places and more support for families in work. And families will tell you the cost of childcare and the support around the school meals, the school uniforms, the breakfast clubs, these will all have an impact in the round, including the work that we've been doing on the Employment Rights Bill, which will give families more security as well. I think that you can't take one in isolation. A government has to have a number of priorities. We are investing in putting money into local housing allowance, but the truth is that the way to fix this problem is not by rents increasing significantly by having private landlords that are putting social tenants in private landlord accommodation. The way to fix this problem is by having more social housing for people that desperately need it.
It is. And just finally on that, again, even when the National Residential Landlords Association are telling us about the impact of local housing allowance, the very same children that we need to be in the breakfast clubs, their parents who need the jobs from the Employment Rights Bill, the flexibility they'll get from being able to request flexible working, the jobs that will be created, the many millions of people that will see their wage increase from the increase in the minimum wage, they all still need a place to sleep.
That's right.
And that's not going to happen because we can't build the homes fast enough. So in the interim, they are renting within the private rented sector. But a lot of them are not able to rent locally because of the freeze on the local housing allowance.